guys, Katrina here, this Eber Wheelie. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about my experience as working as a checkout operator here in Northern Ireland for Tesco, and about their policies that directly discriminate against disabled people. I worked for Tesco's here in Northern Ireland for 7 years. I lost my job due to discrimination over my disability, which I will possibly go into in another video. But Tesco they say that they're an equal opportunities employer, but they are not. I can tell you that they are not, from what happened to me. As I said, I was a checkout operator. I absolutely loved my job there. I loved working with my regular customers, and I loved working with the other staff as well. I had a few good friends. I still do have a few good friends who work there. Anyway, I'll get on to the video. Because my EDS was at that time undiagnosed, I looked healthy. As you know, as some of you may know, EDS can be a hidden condition, meaning to the outside world that you don't look like there's anything wrong with you. I also have Asperger's syndrome, which is a type of autism. Basically, I applied for the job through a friend of my dad's. He got me the application form, and I got the job first time round, which is good. Sorry, this is really difficult to talk about, but as time went on, my disability got worse. My physical disability actually was starting to cause more problems in my life. And at one time I was off for 6 months because I had damaged my right wrist and my right shoulder from constantly working the checkouts, from, you know, the constant repetitive movement of scanning stuff through and packing bags and so on and so forth. Anyway, when I returned to work, I was made to sign out what they call a welcome back form. And then I was pulled up in front of management, basically to explain why I was off for so long, because of their policy on sick days at the time. Now, it may have changed since then, I don't know, but at the time we were only allowed to take 7 days off per year for sick leave. 7 days. That's shocking. Like, what do they do if somebody has a condition like mine, or a condition like cancer or something, where it requires lots and lots of time off? But anyway, they pulled me up and I explained why I was off. I was getting treatment for my shoulder and treatment for my wrist, and this was also the time when I was diagnosed with EDS. I had to attend a specialist hospital here in Belfast. and I was instructed by my consultant not to work. And I was not to lift anything heavy, which, being a job that involves lifting, makes it extremely difficult. And I was not to walk for very long because of my lower body and problems with it related to EDS. I also had to wear a splint on my right wrist, which restricted my movement. But they basically called me a liar at that interview and said that, oh, I was too young, there was nothing wrong with me, and it was all in my head. I did seek help from the workers' union, USDA. They did help at that time. They had a good shop steward who did help. Now, skip on a few years, there was another change in management, and this manager made my life pure hell. Every single day that I went into work, she would make fun of me, give me weird looks. I called it the evil eye, because she knew that I was on welfare, on benefits, on disability benefits. Now, here in the UK, I think you're allowed to work 16 hours per week and still receive full disability benefits. I think it's incapacity benefit, or ESA it's called. But she would say things to other employees behind my back, and they would come and tell me. And I would hear, she would think that I was out of earshot, but I would hear her making fun of me, basically. But there was one time I was in the disabled staff toilet, which was directly next to the manager's office. There was a stud wall between the disabled toilet and the manager's office, and I overheard her talking to another manager about me and saying how I wasn't disabled at all, and how I didn't need a stick, and how I was too young. I sat there crying for about 10 minutes. But as part of my access to work arrangements, I was they sent somebody out, an occupational therapist, to assess me to see what adaptations I needed to work. In the UK, there is a government scheme called Access to Work that helps keep employees in work if they have a disability, and helps employers with getting specialist equipment such as chairs or adaptations or ramps or whatever, to help people stay in work. I was assessed as needing a special chair for working on the checkout, as the chair that they had was not suitable for me, and it was causing me my back damage. This should have been given to me or ordered straight away. Instead, they took over a year to fill out the forms and get me the chair. And there was certain, as part of my access to work requirements, there were certain tasks I was to be helped with, say for example, if a customer needed help lifting things into their trolley, I would have to call somebody from the shop floor to come and lift the bags into the trolley for them because of my joints. And they again had problems getting this sorted. They basically didn't follow the access to work requirements. Anyway, when I was first diagnosed with EDS, I was off work for 6 months whilst they tried to work out what was best for me and what was best to manage my condition and treat my condition if possible. I had to attend a specialist hospital here in Belfast for physiotherapy because my right shoulder and my right wrist were damaged from working in the checkout, with the constant movement and constant lifting and scanning things. When on the day that I returned to work, I was made to fill out a welcome back form, which is a standard procedure for everybody. But after I filled out the form, I was pulled up to the manager's office and basically interrogated as to why I was off sick for so long. I had, according to them, broken their policy of being off for more than 7 working days per year, which is absolutely ludicrous. What do they do if somebody has a more complex condition, and needs more time off? And I was made to feel like it was my fault for being off sick when it wasn't. Anyway, I was told not if I did it again I would lose my job. Sorry, this is really, really hard to talk about. Forgive me if this is a bit long. But anyway, skip on another few years. I was in the canteen one time, and one of my friends come over to me and said that she had overheard one of the managers making a comment about me. And she told me what was said. I won't go into what was said, but I reported the manager to head office and she sacked me. She actually sacked me. I did make a mistake. Now, it wasn't a mistake that was a sackable offence, but she sacked me because of my disability. My disability was referenced in the forms and everything. Anyway, I'm struggling to hold back the tears here. I cried for days after losing that job. I loved that job. Even I told my friend who still does work there, and she couldn't get over it. But Tesco really need to improve their policies towards disabled staff. If you are shopping in Tesco, please be aware that you might be served by a disabled staff member. Sorry, my neighbour's little boy. Please give them time. And if you see a disabled staff member being abused, please speak up. And don't let it fall silently. Thank you for watching. If you want to see why my hair is like this, please click on one of the links above. It's either here or here. If you like my video, please click like, because it'll help people find videos like this. And if you have an experience like mine of working with any major company here in the UK, please comment below, and please share. It might help people find us, or might help people who have had a similar situation. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Your new subscription means very much to me. Thank you very much. I'll see you. I make videos every 2 weeks, at least, give or take a few days, because of my disability. I don't know when I'm going to be fit enough to upload. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.